It was glorious summer evening and little Sarah Payne was happily playing in the cornfields that surrounded her grandparents' home in the idyllic village of Kingston Gorse in West Sussex. She and her two older brothers, Lee and Luke, and 6-year-old sister, Charlotte, were staying with their grandma and granddad for break in the school holidays. But on the evening of July 1st, as the four children frolicked in the fields, Nightmare was lurking in his van, waiting to pounce. When 8-year-old Sarah hit her head during game of hide and seek and ran off crying, pedophile Roy Whiting snatched her from the cornfield and hurled her into his waiting van. Described at his murder trial as moving prison, the van contained horrifying array of equipment perfect for the abduction, sex assault and murder of children. It contained knife, ropes, baby oil and plastic ties that were looped like handcuffs. As Sarah was dumped in the back of the van, her siblings were just feet away, still happily playing. They would never see their sister again. For 48 hours, her family launched frantic search for missing Sarah. Police and volunteers scoured the local area and soon the hunt went national. Sarah's parents made desperate TV appeals for information about their daughter and appealed for her safe return. There were even reported sightings, offering the Payne family some hope their beloved Sarah was still alive. But then 16 days later Sarah's tiny body was found, naked and dumped in shallow grave, and murder probe was launched. Police had already spoken to Whiting in the days immediately after Sarah's abduction. He was convicted pedophile who had been jailed for 4 years in 1995 for the abduction and sexual assault of 9-year-old girl in Crawley, Sussex. Whiting was even arrested before Sarah's body was found and held in police custody, but there was no concrete evidence against him and he was released. Then, on July 23, he stole a car and was chased by police before crashing it and being arrested and jailed for 22 months. While he was behind bars, detectives carried out forensic tests on his van, and on September 27, 2000, Whiting was finally charged with the abduction and murder of Sarah Payne. At his murder trial, pathologist Vesna Jurovic told the court Sarah had suffered violent death, probably asphyxia in sexually motivated attack. She described how decomposition had made it impossible to say what injuries the child had suffered. The little girl was naked with dry vegetation attached to her body. Most of her hair had come away with the roots. It was this ball of hair that was to prove conclusive. In the case against Whiting, it contained 200 fibers of material too, which matched the red sweatshirt found in his van. 11 came from socks found in the Fiat and 1 fiber matched the passenger seat front cover. Blue fiber found in the hair matched fiber in the sweatshirt. Britain's leading forensic expert, Raymond Chapman, told Whiting's trial that out of 47 hairs found on the sweatshirt, only 1 provided DNA profile which matched Sarah. He added, "The chances of obtaining match if the hair came from somebody else is in the order of billion to 1. But the evidence of Sarah's older brother, Lee, was some of the most compelling heard at the murder trial. He described how he had seen Whiting's van pulling away, its wheels spinning and skidding with screeching sound. Whiting was grinning and waving at Lee. The youngster told the court, "He was quite scruffy, looking like he hadn't shaved for ages. He had little white stubbles on his face and little bits of gray in his hair. He was greasy and stuff. He had yellowish teeth when he grinned and his eyes were really white and stood out from his face. His hair was really rough and hadn't been brushed. It was sticking up." This, coupled with the forensic evidence, was enough to convince the jury that Whiting was guilty. He was told he would be spending the rest of his life behind bars. Mr. Justice Curtis said, "Am quite satisfied that you indecently assaulted her in it. As we all know, you stripped Sarah naked and you suffocated her and buried her and got rid of her clothes. You are indeed an evil man. What is more, you did the same thing in 1995. But that girl you mercifully did not kill." Since her daughter's death, Sarah's mum, Sarah, campaigned tirelessly for change in the law allowing people to ask the police if someone with access to their child has record for child sex offences. The Child Sex Offender Disclosure Scheme in England and Wales is also known as Sarah's Law. However, Sarah's dad, Michael, spiraled into depression following his daughter's death. His and Sarah's Marriage broke down under the immense strain they were under following Sarah's murder. Michael suffered from alcoholism and was jailed for 16 months for attacking his brother with glass in December 2011, during drunken incident. In 2014, 45, he was found dead at his home in Kent. He was just 45.